Yo, what up? This is D Knight, and you're listening to the Pardon The Insurrection podcast. My oh my, we've had so much going on. For starters, in case you missed it, we've got a new addition to the Pardon Pie family, Tara Dublin. Make sure you go follow her on Twitter at Tara Dublin Rocks. Also, pick up a copy of her book while you're at it. Make her day, The Sound of Settling. A very fun and interesting read compared to the things we talk about on this podcast. But yeah, we're heading toward the do or die time for the 2024 election. Go ahead and hit up JoeBiden.com. Get that man like $1 a month or something. Help his campaign staff up and get prepared to try and save our democracy. And make sure to grab like one other person you know and tell them about the podcast. Make sure they subscribe and tune in every single week. We got a lot of things coming up for you this year. We need all the support that we can get. So if you do your part and help us grow our audience, we'll do our part and help elect Joe Biden in 2024 and save American democracy. And this is the Pardon the Insurrection podcast. Hello! You are listening to the Pardon the Insurrection podcast, where we discuss the ongoing criminal investigations into one Donald J. Trump as it pertains to his activities relating to the 1/6 insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, as well as the ongoing espionage investigation into classified documents that were recovered from his residence at Mar-a-Lago. This is your host, D. Knight.
And this is Carol.
Hi, it's Ty.
And this is Pardon the Insurrection.
Good day, D-Knight. Did the Queen knight you in secret?
That bitch don't like black people. So the answer is no.
She like Obama. She like Obama. She's always smiling in those pictures.
Okay, but look, every woman would smash Obama. That's different. Like, I'm just a regular black dude. You got to be like president of the United States to be black. Get in, girl, the Queen of England. Like, you can't even marry into the family if you're black. I think they've made that readily apparent. Oh yeah, for those of you listening, in case you missed it, the former Queen of England who sat on the throne for more than 70 years is no longer with us. Rest in peace. Or as some people from Ireland and Africa would say, rest in pieces. Feel about that how you will. I make no judgments. I totally get both perspectives there. Condolences to the people of England, and congratulations to everyone else who's been subjugated to colonial rule for any number of time in the recent history. Yeah, glad we got that out of the way. So what have you two been up to here lately? I missed you guys last week. As you know, I did record an episode of Pardon the Insurrection solo. It was terrible. I recommend people not listen. Download though. Please download and like and subscribe while you're at it. Just, you don't actually have to. I'm so much. Hey, surprise, surprise. Women make everything better, especially men. Where would I be without you?
So I thought you were starting with a terrible accent like the one I have, because you were going to be like, oh, and then there was an insurrection in 1776, and now those people are back here making fun of our queen with their terrible fake accents.
I mean, that was a plan, but it was so ridiculous I couldn't keep it up. Oh well, I tried. But
I mean, both of our accents were nobody suspects a thing.
Well, you might bloody well reckon that I am from England if I speak like this for a protracted amount of time, right? What say you, Ty?
My gummy has kicked in, so my brain and my mouth feels like they're on two different relay systems right now.
That sounds fantastic.
I have a dope British accent, and I'm saying it in my head. I just, and it's perfect.
Well, we'll get it next week. There's still time.
Oh, jolly good.
Look, I'm sober, and we all sound high. Okay, look, let's get into the crazy news week, because of course, like every single week is it's ridiculous to the most extreme sense of the word. Where to start? Trump, it turns out, was actually in possession of sensitive nuclear weapons documents. Last Thursday, the Washington Post reported that the FBI recovered a document describing a foreign government's nuclear capabilities during the search of Mar-a-Lago. Citing unnamed sources, they did not identify the foreign government named in the document, but some of the records from Trump's Florida estate, like the special access program materials, are typically closely guarded, the newspaper reported, and have a designated control officer to monitor the document's location. Where was that designated control officer, and why the fuck does he not know where those documents are or where they've been for the past 18 months? What the fuck? Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's just nuts. Like, there is no way. If Republicans were to get, I mean, I think that we're going to be the scourge of the world. You know, they're never going to trust us again.
No.
They say we're behaving, and then this stuff is coming out. You know, that's bad.
Well,
yeah,
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
go to I know we're not technically doing this segment, but for my, okay, fine. I'll just do a regular speculation. It's not reckless.
It's not even reckless.
I'll just do a regular speculation. How many people could really not notice where the documents are going and not going when it's their job to keep them confidential? Like, it's hard enough to believe that one person would have those sort of lapses, let alone like the number of people who would have need to have like fucked up on the job to get so that the materials that are quote typically closely guarded would just disappear or end up with a fucking traitor.
Right. I mean, you would expect that they have some kind of system to monitor who logs in to these special access programs and who prints these documents out, and who's supposed to return them and when, and it should be signed and dated, time stamped, all of that. No one knows anything. What is going on here? This is the most sensitive information in the possession of the United States government. And it's like the knock list in fucking Mission Impossible with Ethan Hunt. It's in the wind. All the shit is out in the open. We have no idea where it is, where it's been, who's seen it, if anyone's photographed it, digitized it, sent it anywhere, sold it, bought it, purchased it. It's been used by, no one knows. No one knows. Why does no one know? It's driving me insane. I'm sorry.
I mean, I just assume all of those things have happened.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I mean, I've thought there's no way he just, because it's in a folder, doesn't mean he didn't do something with it. Doesn't mean it wasn't copied. Doesn't mean it wasn't forwarded. Doesn't mean it wasn't disseminated.
Well, here's the thing. He only lives at Mar-a-Lago for 4 or 5 months out of the year in the fucking wintertime. That bitch was in fucking Bedminster, New Jersey for 6 months last year, and the documents were in Florida. What is going on? Oh my God. Why would he leave that shit on it?
Well, didn't they say he took boxes of it with him?
Yeah, well, you know, we're actually going to get to that. Apparently, he was hiding classified documents as well. 3 days after the National Archives and the National Archives and Records Administration reached out to Trump's team over concern about missing documents, a private plane bound for Bedminster, New Jersey, was seen loading what appeared to be a series of boxes. On May 6, 2021, nearly 4 months after Donald Trump left office, NAR's chief counsel, Gary Stern, wrote to the ex-president's lawyer saying, quote, "We know things are very chaotic, as they always are in the course of one-term transitions, but it is absolutely necessary that we obtain an account for all presidential records." On May 9th, just a couple days later, Trump boarded a private plane from Palm Beach to Bedminster with several boxes in hand. In July 2022, nearly a year later, Trump buried his ex-wife's casket at Bedminster and hosted the Saudi Arabian Golf League the very next week, to which we know he and Jared Kushner have various illicit ties. What the fuck? What the fuck? We're all screwed, huh? The Saudis got everything.
Yeah. I mean, not just them. I think what's going to be worse is the backlash from our allies. I think that there's no way they're going to be, we rely on their intelligence, because of where they're located. Yes. And so if they don't trust our administration, even though Biden is in office, there are still Trump loyalists, which they can, they're following the other investigations. They're seeing how, thick in it that the Republicans were on every level. So, they've probably been shutting down to a certain degree with us, not really knowing who to trust when we're always talking about, you've got Congress people spending holidays, American holidays in hostile foreign countries. It raises, a lot of questions with our allies, but I think that's I don't think this, the Saudis, they're on some cloud, with the power, like a power trip. They had one of the president's people in their pockets and they got this, they got that, but I don't see them really using it.
I wouldn't put it past them. Hey, look, they're willing to cut up a fucking U.S. journalist, and I don't see them having any issues with using classified intelligence to their advantage. It might not necessarily be against the United States, but hey, they have adversaries. Namely a number of our allies in the region in general. Hey, not everyone gets along. I'm sure they'd be willing to pay a great deal for access to classified intelligence that only the United States can get access to.
What do you think is the going rate for that? Like $2 billion?
At least. I feel like that's a bare minimum starting point.
That's the Jared special. He went to Jared. That's the he went to Jared special.
He went to Jared. He got the Jared deal. They hooked him up. You know what? This is highly depressing information. Our national security might just be a shit show for the next 20 years because of one guy. It's insane.
What is it? All the people that have been kind of caught up and had to register as foreign agents, and then you're finding out about, certain deals that they were doing.
Yes, everyone who worked for Trump's campaign.
That's so many people, and
including Tom Barrack, who's currently facing criminal charges.
Yep. And Steve Wynn, well, he did register as a foreign agent.
Yeah, he got in trouble.
But yeah, man. So it's not going to be, I don't see how they would trust even any of the people or half of the people in our Congress.
Well, they can't. We don't trust half the people working in Congress right now. So they definitely can't.
That is true. So that's going to make things difficult for, people that are on the Senate Intelligence Committee and working with people. And we've just are intent on completely destroying the relationship that we have with Mexico by just being pricks about, if I were president of Mexico, I would ban any non-melanated person from coming to vacation. So, those people, the people from Arizona would know what to do in Puerto Peñasco. They wouldn't know what to do if they couldn't go to Cancun or those places they like to go and vacation. But
I love this idea. Mexico should build the wall and make America pay.
You know what? It should. I would, but you know what? I was in Juarez maybe 2 months ago with the kids and Barbie, and we were going somewhere to go eat. And we get stopped by a train. So I'm just looking around. It's on the other side of downtown. And I see Black people. real black people, like not a half Mexican or half, or, you know, whatever, or just the darker skin.
Right.
And then I look and I'm seeing like 1, 2, and not to be racist, but you have to understand like where I am usually, you know, it's very, very seldom. And then I go to the store and I realize, and I go, oh, you know what? I think, because I know that we do have some Afro Cubans that are over there.
Yes, we do.
The features and stuff, and I go, I think these are some of the Haitian migrants. And so I look that we go into the OXXO, which is like the 7-Eleven of Mexico. And so we go in there, and then sure enough, that they were, because I heard the girl talking to the guy working, and he was speaking in patois, and then they were walking, so I knew they weren't going far, and then people were like going back and forth. And I was like, you know what, that's really cool how they've, you know, integrated, because some Cuban restaurants have started popping up. You'll see them working some of the cards, the OXXO giving a job as a cashier to a Haitian immigrant.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a big deal, because we wondered what had happened when they had some tent cities that were like right by the bridge. So basically what they were doing was they were waiting so that they could be ready, you know, as soon as this order was lifted or whatever. But they had everybody.
They shuttled them in quick after that, I imagine.
Everybody had tents. Like they did the bus. They would have people set up with water and those big water jugs and stuff and things. But I wasn't really sure. But it looks like they've kind of integrated. A lot of people are integrating and to realize, you know, it's not so bad living there. But I think that's kind of cool that they're, you know, embracing, you know, not just Spanish-speaking migrants.
Well, as they should. Should have an open, welcoming environment for any number of migrants, regardless of their nation of origin. I mean, that's not... Yeah. But like you said, Mexico should build a wall, keep the white people out, stop it from ruining shit, especially when it gets cold and Texas loses all its fucking electricity again. Fingers crossed it's not you, Ty. I know you're across the street from Texas.
Well, I hope you guys have a fun vacation without me. Send pictures.
Oh man. Well, look, if you tell them you're Jewish, does that still count as? No.
Are the freckles enough melanin?
I mean, like if you go ahead and grow your Jew fro out, maybe they won't notice.
You're looking at my hair. This is what it looks like. This is how it grows.
That's pretty awesome. The Jewish Museum in Mexico City is pretty awesome. The Museum of Tolerance. It's really powerful.
That's a wonderful name. We need more tolerance in America. Actually, you know what? We need more intolerance of intolerance is what we actually
That's bingo. That's perfect. We need more intolerances of intolerances.
That might be the only deep thing I will say this entire show.
I will jump on that.
Oh. All right, on to Christina Bobb, you know, Trump's crackhead lawyer from OANN or wherever he got her from. In a legal filing last month, the DOJ alleged that Christina Bobb and Evan Corcoran, lawyers representing Trump in the espionage investigation, misled prosecutors by saying they handed over all the classified documents from Mar-a-Lago. That clearly not being an accurate representation of the facts because the FBI recovered multiple boxes of classified documents in multiple locations at Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence in the execution of a search warrant in August. And granted, we also discovered that he may or may not have taken boxes to Bedminster. That's a whole different story. Experts do say that the filing could build a legal case that Bobb and Corcoran obstructed the government's investigation, and they could be stripped of attorney-client privilege, being compelled to testify or even become criminal targets themselves. Christina Bobb has reportedly retained counsel herself this week. There's the joke going around that's 4 years old now that MAGA stands for Make Attorneys Get Attorneys.
I love that.
Yeah, it seems fitting. What do you think about Christina Bobb possibly having lied her ass off in signing sworn statement saying that she performed a search of all the
She
properties.
said she diligently looked through all of the materials herself and found no additional classified information that could
lies. Lies. Yeah, she lying.
Either she just, can't read or just has like no clue.
Ty, the folders are brightly marked, and then there's the giant word classified all over the front. How could you not know?
No lawyer is ever going to get away with like pleading ignorance to being able to read. Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, I guess
get
unless
the fuck
they're
out of my courtroom.
I mean, they might be fucking Daredevil where they're blind and shit, and the shit is not in Braille, so you could be like, well, there was no Braille. It's difficult to tell. Like, other than that,
not to take anything she says seriously.
Oh my God. How are you a lawyer and you're about to go to jail before your client? What kind of shit is that? That's insane.
And how many of his attorneys have
a lot?
I mean, gosh, we're going to be down to what's his name, Bob blah blah.
Well, hey, look, that's why they got Trusty. Good old Jim Trusty. It's in the name, right? If he's anything like Truth Social, where it's full of lies, he must be untrusty. Okay, Steve Bannon, longtime Trump ally and right-wing nutbag who refuses to take a shower or change his 3 shirts. Steve Bannon, who dodged federal charges in a charity fraud case thanks to a last-minute presidential pardon, must now face the music in New York State court. The 6-count indictment charges Bannon with money laundering, conspiracy, and scheming to defraud for his alleged role in We Build the Wall, a group that raised at least $15 million to not construct a barrier along the border with Mexico and skim the donations. The group publicly told donors its president and CEO, Air Force veteran Brian Colfage, I think, Colfage, whatever, however you say his name, Colfage. There we go. Would not be compensated for his efforts, but Bannon allegedly arranged to pay him by moving money from We Build the Wall through a company he controlled that
Colfage
previously pleaded guilty in the federal case. Only Bannon.
I'm helping.
You are so helpful. Can you imagine how this went without you two last week? Only Bannon and the company were charged by the state. Bannon pleaded not guilty Thursday. If convicted on the top charge, he faces a maximum of 5 to 15 years in prison. And this is on top of the contempt charges that he's facing for not cooperating with the January 6th committee. And all I have to say about this is Bannon is fucked.
I really enjoyed the perp walk.
It was so great. I saved the picture.
I knew I was going to enjoy it, but it was so satisfying. And he was big mad, greasy, flopping around, and looked like a monster.
You'll have to kill me first.
They'll never stop me from fighting. Yeah, sure.
I know who won't be putting money on his books. So
I mean, Jesus Christ. Hey, look, this is a perfect case of Alvin Bragg trying to throw us a bone for fucking up the fact that he's not going after Trump in the Trump org case. But I mean, at least he's nailing Bannon on something easy to prove. Like the proof is there. It's the documents. Yeah, can't really.
Have we considered that the Department of Justice asked Alvin Bragg, like, hey, it would be really inconvenient if you started this huge tax fraud case now. Like, we have something bigger going on. So, like, we kind of want to go first.
That's a wonderful bit of reckless speculation there that they're looking into Trump org and they were like, hey, Bragg, lay off. I had considered it kind of, not in those terms exactly. It was like, maybe
I don't think it's reckless, just per the legal definition of reckless. Which,
but here's the thing, right? I had considered it, but like, there's so many multiple investigations of Trump from other jurisdictions, like say Fannie Willis in Georgia, who are not laying off, that I assumed that had they had something bigger in mind, they would have, I don't know, maybe rolled all those investigations into one, as opposed to saying, hey, Bragg, you lay off, but Fannie Willis, you're good to go.
I don't know, because Letitia James is taking on everything. I get press releases from her office.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
And she's doing things that are like local to New York, but I think they matter nationwide, like landlords who keep security deposits. And they'll always be to the penny of whatever you put down, whether it was a whole month's rent or 2 months rent for whatever reason. And you can have pictures and they'll still find some way. But it was like hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of deposits. So I can only imagine they must have had like the proof, but they find all these landlords and stuff. It was Scott. She's doing some really interesting stuff, and she's moving at a quick pace.
She's a busy woman. She doesn't do much in the way of filing criminal charges, but in these civil cases, she is wearing motherfuckers the fuck out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's just getting all kinds of money for New Yorkers, like getting money back for stuff they've been scammed out of. It's like every single day. It's like it's something coming in. I'm like, wow, she's she's working hard, and she's been just about as long as Fami Willis. Like they haven't been very long, have they?
No. Let's see. When did Willis even start this investigation? Was it 10, 12 months ago? Summer of last year?
The New York one? Well, Cy Vance was still the prosecutor.
He was. And that investigation started in the middle of the Trump administration, but it kept getting delayed for multiple.
I think they finally impaneled a grand jury, Alvin Bragg's case, at least like 9 months ago, and then they let it go after the first 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh.
And if that's not how many months, like, whatever.
Math is hard.
They're not my clients. No, I don't know. I mean, my lawyering is not like in court.
It's okay. Your lawyering is perfect for this podcast. That's all that matters.
The only time I've been in court was when someone like guilted me into doing a probate for them of someone's will. And I didn't know what I was doing, but that didn't, that excuse wasn't good enough apparently. And I was real embarrassed. And there were like people from my law school in the courtroom, and I was like, oh no, they saw me not do it right. I had no idea what the hell I was doing.
Why were they there? They were trying cases, or they were just...
Yeah, they were also at court. It was, it was probate court. So they were, there are a lot of people there. It's not like it's high profile private cases. It's like one after another.
Just boom, 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 like traffic court.
Yeah. So my problem was I couldn't prove that I got the documents to like these people whose address was just like the name of a village. That was like the Anyway, it wasn't actually a big deal, but I was embarrassed. So that's the one time I went to court. So let's not take my court advice.
Okay, granted, if we ever go to trial because Republicans sue us for defamation, we'll hire Christina Bobb. Gotcha.
I can't even. Oh my gosh, she is so annoying.
Which one's worse, Alina Habba or Christina Bobb? Christina
Bobb is she dumber?
She says some stupid shit.
Alina, can't tell them apart.
Well, I think Alina the one that got on Fox and said, well, maybe the documents were invisible, because that was pretty fucking... Look, I'm not making that up. You can Google that. Like that's on the internet for anyone to see that she said, hey, it can't be espionage because the documents might have been invisible. Anyways, Trump saved America. Oh, sorry.
I just Googled both of them and I just can't tell them apart.
Oh, that's the thing. And they also look alike.
I mean, they have similar features, but Habba she has shorter hair and her hair is a little bit lighter brown.
Okay. Well, they're not right next to each other right now. I'm just looking at all pictures of one and then all the other, and I just can't. So I'm sure I could next to each other.
A little bit different. What she wears, she kind of reminds me of like Kayleigh McEnany style, but the other one, she's just goofy as fuck. So everything she wears just looks stupid. I'm
not going to denigrate the woman's appearance. On to because I'm a man and I
Talking
don't.
about tacky clothes, not.
Well, yeah, look, I still don't want to get canceled. Like, let me get canceled for something more fun than talking about her fucking outfit. Trump Save America PAC is under investigation, apparently. The Department of Justice has reportedly, I can't talk today, reportedly subpoenaed former President Donald Trump's senior White House advisor, Stephen Miller, who looks like a fucking alien or a spoon, in a probe looking at a super PAC from the, see, it's okay to disparage men's looks. Pro-equality. Stephen Miller, in a probe looking at a super PAC from the former president, the New York Times reported. Miller, along with ex-White House political director Brian Jack, what is he doing now? Is he working for, anyway, is reportedly among a group of more than a dozen people linked to Trump that received federal grand jury subpoenas this week. Save America is a leadership PAC that was set up shortly after President Joe Biden defeated Trump in the 2020 election. It has raised tens of millions of dollars, including in the aftermath of Trump's defeat, during which it asked for money to support efforts to challenge those electoral results. It spent absolutely none of that money on challenging those electoral results. Is Trump Save America PAC, his slush fund, his fucking piggy bank, is it in trouble? Will it go under? Will the feds shut that down and seize all the funds? Go.
Yes. I want to say yes.
I mean, he raised directly like 135 million, but he raised like 250 million for the election defense fund that he would siphon money over to the Save America PAC.
Yep.
The thing is, he's been grifting, and he doesn't
hard.
Body. So where the fuck is the money going? Didn't he raise like $1 billion at his inauguration? Oh, Jared stole most.
I think it was over 110 million or something like that. It was more money for an inauguration than any president has raised before. And that was like after Obama raised a fucking shit ton for the first time ever. And he gave some of the fucking money back because it was so much. Trump's like, nah, we keeping this, bro. And the thing is, like you said, where does the money go? Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, you know, I have all these loans and this debt I have to pay off, or I'm reinvesting it in these properties. He doesn't do any of that.
No.
What you know what's really okay? Look, how many episodes of what's the show called? Oh my God, I'm just drawing a blank here. I must be tired. Netflix with the money laundering, and they're in the fucking mountains and they're setting up all these fraudulent businesses, and the money disappears, and they owe, you know, millions of dollars to the cartels. You should be familiar with this, Ty. It's your love life.
Is it
Ozarks? yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, I have never seen that as a screenwriter.
No.
You know what's gonna happen? I'm one of those people that I'm like, everyone's watching this, whatever. Then as soon as it's off, I'll be binge watched. That's what I did with Scandal. Yeah. Oh my God, I was such an episode.
Okay. Yeah. Look, so you got to pick up the Ozarks, but like what it reminds me of in that show is like they start all these massive projects and raise all these funds, but they never actually spend the money on the shit, and the shit goes under, but they take the money and pay off the cartels. This is what that reminds me of. It just seems like one giant, it's not even like graft for the sake of like spending it on your personal shit, buying yachts and fucking whatever, jewels and shit. It's like the money just disappears poof into thin air. Like, and I think we owe, what was it, Motel 6 an apology? Because I've been looking at pictures of Mar-a-Lago. That place is even more run down than the worst Motel 6 I've ever stayed at.
I've only seen pictures from like the aerial view or whatever, but I can tell by that tacky ass flamingo color that it's some hot ass mess inside.
Well, you can get some close up aerial views, and it looks like a total dump. The roof is crappy, like the furniture and the upholstery of the outdoor shit is all. It's a dumpster. Hey, Carol, can I ask you something?
Yes,
This is
probably.
this is a very important question that I
Okay.
need an answer to. I have been under the impression this entire time of my knowledge of the existence of Mar-a-Lago that it is a golf resort and that there is indeed a golf course attached to that resort. Why is there no golf course attached to the fucking Mar-a-Lago resort? There's no golf club. There's no golf course.
No, it's like down the road.
Oh my God.
And I remember when Mar-a-Lago was built or he purchased it, it was after Tiger Woods, some racial incident. And they're like, oh, no black members or whatever. So
yeah, which one?
like, I want to say Augusta.
But I mean, they let them play. They didn't like it.
But Trump was like, oh, I'm going to have a club and everybody's welcome as long as you can pay them. Back then, it was like $100,000 initiation fee. And
yeah, it's since doubled. Thanks to the presidency.
It was like all the rage at the time. I was obsessed with celebrity news back then.
Yeah, you were on your on your high type shit.
Celebrity. Oh my gosh, I love celebrity gossip.
So, sorry, I was just gonna say, why did you think that I would know about the golf course? I do have to stick up for flamingo pink, so I think as a building color, because I think that's like very, very popular in Florida.
Well, I don't want to like racially profile you, but like you're Jewish and you're a lawyer, and we're black and black people don't golf.
Hey, man. Golf stuff.
Oh, okay. That's why you're asking me. Golf? I've never golfed. I don't even like mini golf.
Oh, okay. I am gonna get canceled. Yep. Look, I know not every Jewish lawyer golfs.
I thought you meant that's why I like the pink houses.
No,
in Florida.
No. I just assumed you would be more familiar with golf than. Look, I watch golf on a rare occasion. Oh.
It's not even pink; it's like a salmon.
Yeah, it's even grosser. It's not real pink.
A lot of that here. At least they did in the 90s. And whenever I see a house that color, I just think about Pablo Escobar, or like I just think about a drug. I'm like, it's got to be a drug. Because that was kind of the thing. It was all flashy, and they would have it looking like Scarface or whatever. So it's just always like the first thing that comes to my mind. But it just looks so tacky to me. The Mar-a-Lago property.
Oh, it's so bad. And you're right. It's not even pink. It's like this fake flamingo plastic pink shit. It looks. Look, we're going to get a sponsorship from Motel 6 because. Like, they gotta love us comparing them to Mar-a-Lago. They're like, yeah, look at our shit. We could charge $200,000 memberships too. Yeah.
I can imagine what it costs per night. Like, I was looking at what he was charging for like the hotels, like in the beginning of January at his hotels, which I guess for the area. I mean, it was more than most of the other places, but I just imagine like, and those people are wealthy enough. I'm sure they know what good, top of the line resorts look like.
For sure.
With that money and got bed bugs and shit.
I mean, why would they're just throwing their money away to feed? Like they know it's crappy. Like I can see it from the fucking Google images, how crappy it is. And they're like at the thing up close and personal, sleeping on it. They got to know it's a piece of shit. And of course, like anyone who spent their money there over the past, 6 years of Trump being president, like it's just a way to funnel money to him for whatever fucking favors they were trying to get out of his ass. Anyway,